Hi, and welcome back to the Grown Woman Experience. For those of you who do not know me, my name is Fran Jackson, and I am a health guru. I'm a healer too. But the Grown Woman Experience is about shit that we have gone through as grown women, and we've grown from them. They've helped us build. They help us to be better, be a better version of you. I'm really into that, the best version of myself. So, and if this show resonates with you, please like, share, subscribe, and comment. But today I want to talk about healthy relationships. Healthy relationships with your children, with coworkers, family members, spouses. Healthy relationships are very, very important. If you don't have a healthy relationship, let's say with your spouse, especially with a spouse, I mean, we didn't went, before God and said I do, to death do us part, blah, 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 blah. I've been there, I've done that, where in my first marriage, I didn't have a healthy relationship, but I thought that, we were married, so it's going to work out. I watch my parents. I come from a two-parenting home. No matter, it was a very loving home, but I just also remember like abuse in that relationship with my parents. My father was going through some stuff, but nevertheless, my parents, they stuck it out. Years then passed on, they were old school. I get married, and man, my first year into that marriage was horrible. We were young. I'm not going to shift all the blame on him, but we were young, and I probably wasn't the most helpful when it came down to, shit happening in our marriage. I don't know. I think most women, because we age a lot quicker than men do, I would say that I was ready for the marriage, because most women, for the most part, like once we get that boo, it's like we want to stay with that boo. We want to be with that boo. We'll do anything for our boo. It's just that, unfortunately, my boo, my husband at the time, he was young, and he just wasn't ready for the marriage. So my first marriage was physically abusive and mentally abusive. We had a horrible relationship. And I actually had a horrible relationship with myself. That's important too. Where's your relationship with you? Do you even like you? At that particular time, I don't even think I really liked myself. It's not that I didn't like myself. I just really didn't even know who I was. I didn't know what my career path was. I just didn't know what I wanted to do in life. So here I am, fixated on this man, getting married to him, and I'm still trying to find myself, but be a good wife to him. So the marriage did end in 3 years. What came out of that marriage was a beautiful bouncing baby boy. So yeah, like it just didn't work out. 9 so years later, I remarried. So I was a single parent. That's a whole nother show talking about. Oh, let's talk about it now. I was a single parent. My first husband told me that, because I left him. And it took a while to leave him. I didn't just leave him after that first punch. It took a couple punches, some strangles, some really nasty stuff. Like if you get my book, The Grown Woman Detox, Achieve Out by I can't even remember the name of my book. The Grown Woman Detox, Achieve Optimal Health by Eliminating Toxic Foods, Feelings, and Foolishness. Tap the link in the comments and you can purchase the book from there. But anyway, so I stayed. I stayed. Because one thing, ladies, if you are in an abusive relationship, mentally or physically, don't beat yourself up about that. You know, the thing is with those type of relationships, when you're in love with somebody, love you can't turn on and off like a light switch. You got to get out of it. You know, when the time is right to get out of it. You just can't, oh, he hit me, so I'm out. That's bullshit. That's bullshit. Or he cheated on me. That's bullshit. You just gonna leave just like that because he cheated on you. So your feelings are still there. Not to say, you know, I'm not discounting that. It hurts. It's hurtful. But, you know, I remember in my first marriage, you know, everybody was like, my girlfriends was like, girl, you need to leave him. You need to leave him. How am I going to leave? And I still love him. And I did leave. I would leave him, go back home to my parents. And guess what? He called me and we, you know, talk it out. And I was right back. I had to be sick and tired of being sick and tired of being sick and tired. That's how that works. That's how love works. So yeah, after 3 years, I did leave. And when I left, he told me that I wasn't going to amount to anything. And nobody was going to ever want me because I had a baby. Nobody was going to want a woman that had a child. Well, that was 22. That was actually 30 years ago. But I learned a lot. I learned so much from my first marriage. I grew from that first marriage, you know. So yeah, you know, my second marriage, like when I finally, you know, grew into who I was, my second marriage, I met my husband at 35 years old. At 35, I should have that shit together by now, you know, kind of know a little bit about who you are, you know, all those experiences, those relationships that I had in between, and I had a lot of relationships in between my first husband and my second husband, and they weren't all good, but they were good to the point where I learned stuff. They were experiences. I learned what I wanted in a man and what I definitely didn't want in a man. So my relationship with my husband now, my present husband, we've been married for 22 years. We have our ups and downs, but for the most part, the very most part, he's my best friend. I see him as my best friend more than a spouse. So that's what makes me glow the way that I do, because I'm not in no bullshit ass relationship. I didn't settle, and I was not going to settle after that first marriage. So, yeah, relationships with spouses need to be healthy. If they're not healthy, get counseling. I've gone to counseling. Counseling helps. Counseling is good, you know. Counseling is not bad. It's not a bad thing. It really isn't. It's very helpful. So, if it's not healthy, either try counseling or get the fuck out. And I don't care if you marry or if it's a boyfriend-girlfriend type of thing. Get out. Life is too short. But try to make it work first. If you keep trying, and it doesn't, you know, a lot of times we choose our mates. When we choose our mates, sometimes, like, I chose my first one. And he wasn't the one for me. This one here that I have, my husband now, I did not choose him. First of all, he chose me. That's deep. That's so deep. Yeah, but yeah, he chose me, and it just worked. It just worked because at that time when he chose me, I knew what I wanted, what I was going to put up with, and what I wasn't going to put up with. Relationships with siblings. Right now, my relationship is not where I would like for it to be with my siblings. Actually, my relationships with my siblings, to me, is very unhealthy and toxic. But we don't, you know, I don't have to deal with them on a day-to-day basis. I live in Florida, Fort Lauderdale, and they live in Maryland, Baltimore. It doesn't feel good. It just doesn't. Like I said, you know, it just doesn't feel good. But it is what it is, you know, and I just gotta learn to live with it. I can't dwell on what coulda, shoulda. I can't do that. It's nothing I can do to make the situation better, you know. It is what it is. But I can't let it get the best of me where I'm depressed and shit like that. No, that's not going to happen. Maybe one day it'll change. Relationship with your children. My relationship with my kids it's good. Especially with my daughter. When my husband and I got together, he came into marriage with a daughter and I came into marriage with a son. So I have 2 kids. My daughter, I just didn't birth her, but I had her since she was 11 years old. And we've had our ups and downs, but one thing about females, we can talk. Her and I, Brittany, we dialect a lot. And we know how to get over shit. You know, like, I need you and you need me. Okay? So we gonna, you know what? I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry. That's me and my daughter. Like, it's such a beautiful dynamic. It really is. Now, Mr. Michael, my son, on the other hand, that dynamic with a mother and a son, and I know it's a lot of women out here, y'all, probably going through the same thing or similar or have gone through it. It's like a boyfriend-girlfriend relationship. It really is. I hate to label it like that, but it is. My son, he's a wonderful man. He gave me a bouncing, beautiful baby boy who's 6 years old. But my son is 31 years old. My daughter is 34. So she's going through, you know, I'm able to help her with being single and establishing healthy relationships. My son, he a man. And a man at 31 years old, baby, he got a lot of growing to do. But he is growing his baby steps. At least he's, you know, finally like, okay, making career moves. Yay. I'm so happy for him. He is in his career. He's doing the damn thing. Him and I, he does call me for advice, you know, but at the same time, he don't want to hear what I got to say because, oh, you just a woman. Yeah, I am. And you got woman problems, you know? So me and him, we like, we like horns. He loves me, I love him. But he's spoiled. You know, that's my baby boy. That's my baby boy. I have enabled him. I have. I didn't enable Brittany. I was hard on Brittany. You gonna do this, and this. My son, oh, Michael. Okay, Michael. What you need, Michael? That was me. Like, I know I enabled him. Until I left the state of Maryland, that DMV area, that's when my son grew up. But with me there, it wasn't going to happen. Not now, it wouldn't have. I know me, you know. And my son he can talk to me disrespectful. And what do I do? That's just, when I say boyfriend, girlfriend, that's what I mean. You know, we got that boo thing and we just going back at it. Girl, bye. We gotta let these boys grow up to be men and stop pacifying them. You know, and he's taking those little baby steps and he's doing good because he's on his own. But, you know, everything happens when it happens in its own time. So that relationship it keeps me on my toes. I'm going to say that. That relationship with my son keeps me on my toes. Relationships as far as like distant family members, like cousins and stuff like that. You know, my relationship is pretty good with my extended family, you know, on both sides. They've had their ups and downs, but they pretty, you know, they work themselves out, you know, on jobs and stuff. Like, look, listen. Healthy relationships on jobs is good and it's bad. You gotta stay focused. You on a job for a reason. Get a paycheck, take your ass home. That's it. You ain't gotta be best friends with everybody. Everybody ain't gotta like you. You going there to get that paycheck. That's it. Don't let nobody on your job make you feel less than who you are. Because they can do that. A lot of times they do it just to get you out the door. You need that paycheck. You need those coins so you can pay your bills, be successful, and get ahead. You don't need to make friends at your job. That's hard to do anyway. Relationships with girlfriends. It's a blessing if you have a long-term friend and like from say, like I have one friend from kindergarten. We still communicate. It's not often at all. Would I like for it to be better? Yeah, but I'm not forcing nothing. Because see, my bestie is my husband. But with females, with my long-term girlfriend, I would like for it to be better, but it is what it is. Hey, she living her life, I'm living mine. And you have those people too in your life, you know. Then I have a girlfriend from high school, you know. It's like we just like sisters. Like we love each other. We're there to support one another, but we can get into it too, and we can like fall apart, and then we come back together. You know, healthy relationships with women is hard. It's hard work. Then I have a relationship that I established when I first got my first real job. And she great relationship. We just had to establish not boundaries, but we had to establish where we were with each other in our lives. Like you here and I'm here. We still love each other though. Let's be together and support one another. And that's what we do. I can call on my girlfriends, at least a couple of them. Anytime I can call on them. And that's a beautiful thing. You know, I've lost a lot of female relationships because I started growing. That's the other thing. You have to understand that women, we grow. When I say we grow, meaning we learn stuff. We make mistakes, and we got to grow from that. We get into our careers. We learning stuff. So we grow. We elevate. Just because you elevate doesn't mean that you in here is different, but here you should be different. You should be more successful than you was 5 years ago. You should be more successful than you was 10 years ago. I'm not the same woman I was 5 years ago. I'm not the same woman I was when I was 50, 45, 40, 35, 30. Definitely not in my 20s. And I damn sure don't want to see those ages again. This age here, I love it. But what I don't like is the body starts like, okay, you is in your 50s. Age used to never bother me. But now in my over 55, it's like, yeah, you know. So I've had some really close girlfriends that at first I didn't understand why they were dropping off. My girlfriends, you know, that did drop off, they were there for me when they needed to be there for me. When I was going through the toughest times in my life, I've had girlfriends that was there for me. But the minute I started growing, oh baby, they dropped off. And that's okay. I don't need to have all those girlfriends anyway. The few that I have, I'm good. I'm good money with them. Why we need a whole tribe of girlfriends? And there's people that do have them, and it works for them. And kudos to you. I love to see that. I like to see women going on girls' trips, and it's about 10, 15 of them. And I'll be like, all y'all got along? And they be like, yeah. That's a beautiful thing, sisters. I love it. I love it, love it, love it. Who else did I leave out? Relationships with your parents. Unfortunately, I no longer have my dad. But as an adult, my relationship was good with him. He still saw me as a little girl. And if he was still alive today, God rest his soul, he would still be calling me a little girl. I know he would. I know he would. My mother, she's still here, thank God. She's 94, and my relationship is good with her. She loves me. I love her. We don't see each other every day. We speak to each other on FaceTime once a week. And yeah, the relationship with my mom is good. It's really good. So I'm very happy with that relationship. I'm trying to think who else did I leave out relationships with. Family members, co-workers, spouses, boyfriends. Let me tell you something. Whoever you are in a relationship with, and if they do not support you, if they do not help you grow, if they cause you depression, let that shit go. People come into your life for a reason and a season. A reason and a season. It doesn't mean that they meant to stay with you forever. So it's okay. Let them go. Let them go. So again, I think I hit all relationships. Neighbors, oh, same thing. Like, reason and season, you might not stay there long. So, just embrace it, with neighbors and stuff. Like, I have had when I moved here to Florida, like I tried to have relationship with neighbors. That's not my jam. It's not. It's hard to build. Once you get older, it's really hard to build a solid relationship. Most solid relationships, start from when you're younger. Not to say they can't happen when you're older. They do. But it's hard. It's hard work. So I think I touched on everybody, children, your siblings, parents, extended family, spouses, boyfriends, girlfriends. Yeah. So if this was helpful, or if you disagree with something, because this is just my opinion, this is just my grown woman experience opinion, you got your own. Drop me a comment, subscribe to my channel, like, and share. And until the very next time we see each other, please drink a lot of water. And I love you. And live each day as if it was your last. Toodles.